This is the Bar Stewards Enquiry.
Right? You're talking absolute rubbish. Absolute rubbish.
In what way?
You were an underachiever in life. I saved your bacon one time. You were gone.
You handled that well. I couldn't save you. But you did the right thing.
But that's why you don't know anything about racing, John.
I didn't say I do.
Right?
I'm saying that...
What have you contributed to racing? You're one of these take-out merchants. Take out all you can.
Good evening. Welcome to the Bar Stewards Enquiry Weekend Podcast, where we are at the final hurdle of the Glorious Goodwood Festival. Thank God, say some of us, especially John. Yeah. And so John had enough by Wednesday, he told me off air. That were it, him done, finished, bored. So roll on York. So joining me tonight for this wonderful Friday night podcast is me, John Lang, Andy Richmond, and Jack Veach. Good evening, chaps.
Good evening, Lee.
Good evening, Lee.
Yes. Right, let's get the wagons rolling then straight away. The best bets round, this is what the punters all like, so that we can do the money in fast. 1 point round, I'll go to you, Jack, first of all.
My first bet, Lee, goes in the 4:45 at Goodwood, the 7 furlong maiden. And the horse I like here is the Michael Bell trained Empire of Art. It's a horse that went into a few of our trackers. I think we were quite big on Nellie Laylax the other week. And thought this one showed plenty of promise for me. Stayed on, travelled pretty nicely into the race. Weakened a little bit towards the end, but for a debut, that was pretty impressive. I don't mind that form at all. He's already shown a likeness to certainly a handling of the softer conditions, which he'll probably get tomorrow. And I thought it was there's a number of debutants in this race. It looked mediocre enough on paper. You got the Johnston Fav in there. They've not had a winner all week, and so I'm quite keen to take that on. And I thought at double figure odds, this was certainly bearing in mind normal improvement that you'd expect from debut, I thought this was worth a stab. 1 point win.
Sporting choice indeed at prices. 1 point win, 12 to 1, fine for you, sir, generally available? Yes.
Perfectly fine, yeah.
Good stuff, good start to the round. A nice double figure price to kick us off. Andy Richmond.
Right, I'm going one named after me, Billy No Mates.
What makes you say that?
Well, it might.
Don't be so harsh on yourself.
It's the name of the show at the moment. We're a bit Billy No Mates at the moment.
Oh, yeah.
A bit of bit of the old Twitter spat and everything, but Billy No Mates. So, no, I just really liked his run last time out. It takes a while to sort of get into form, this horse, and I'm a little bit worried that he might get too far back tomorrow, but round first, because it's a bit of a tight old track around there at some times. But I thought he ran really well last time out when he was third at Pontefract, and it was just one of those days. You know what Pontefract's like. You get far back there, and you just, it's just a bit of a problem, isn't it? Behind dear old Carragilly, who runs that course very, very well, just caught further back than ideal. He's been running into form. I think the time before he ran at York in a race, it was probably a little bit too good for him. The other runs have been okay this year. I think he's run himself into a bit of form. Stabler certainly in a better form now. He's a little bit slowly away, or can be slowly away. So if you can, I would probably try and back him have a little bit in running. Obviously, that's not possible for everyone, but that's the way I'll probably back him, and just back him shortly after the start in the hope of getting a slightly bigger price. But I think he's probably only got Bolin Margaret to beat in this, but if he can, if Connor Beasley can keep him in touch, then Billy No Mates to finally go get a win this season.
Good stuff. 7-2 generally available for Andy. That is the 5-10 at Thirsk, I believe, is it?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, sorry, I didn't say that.
The finale. Good stuff, mate. Yeah, well, like conditions, I would imagine. Jonas.
5 o'clock Thirsk, encourageable. It's taken a while to come right, this horse. Right now, tongue-tied back off a winning mark. Of course, form, handles dig. There's 2 pace horses you can track into the race. There shouldn't be any problem on that front. This really ought to be the big day of the season. I think there'll be a little plunge on this horse tomorrow.
10 to 1 generally available. That's in the 4 o'clock at Thirsk, the William Hill Summer Cup Handicap. 1 point on the nose, John?
Yeah.
Does it concern you that James
Yes.
Orton's three? Yeah, we've discussed that. three from 60. James Orton from his last 60 runners, just 3 winners, which would be a slight concern. But I know for a fact if James Orton had been in better form, John would have gone 3 on this without a shadow of a doubt, and it'd have been saying max bet.
This will be a serious marker to where we actually are. The horses, to be honest, because this is well advanced.
Yes, good stuff, John. I like it. Okay, to finish the round off, 2-pronged attack from me this week. The first bet, I'm a starling and a magpie. I start stealing things off other people's work. The 2 bets I've got later are blogger stuff. So we start with the magpie bet for tomorrow, and it's in the Stewards Cup, and I am very keen on the Quentin Franks, already tipped it up, Ali's Dancer. 14-1, I think, still value. Quentin tipped it up the other day, bigger. Well done, Quentin. He certainly picked the value. I'm certain you'll need a low draw in the Stewards. The reason being as well, there's a strong southwesterly, which is about a third into the faces. Now, you work that out. Anything coming down the stand side, I just think no. You need far side, and I think the Nursery today. If you look at the Nursery, Rafe Ralph won it with the King Charles's horse, and that was drawn low. I just think low draws will be suited. So Ali's Dancer is it £19 better off or something stupid? We Orazio on Newmarket run earlier this season. Well, there's not £19 between them on that run, even if Orazio stepped forward, and it is Charles Hills. So 14-1 generally available for Ali's Dancer. I think that's a nice bet. Still, I think there's still juice in that price. So 1 point win for me. Right, round 2. John, swing it round to you.
225 Goodwood, Yukon Glen. All the groans going up there.
Yeah, groans, yeah.
The fact of the matter is, this has had some absolute stinkers this year off Mulrennan. Absolutely brain dead at Haydock. Last time, I genuinely think he stopped it. In Newbury.
No, it's probably just shit.
Well, to me, it looked a stopping there because nobody could have run up the arse of so many different horses up that straight at Newbury. The horse is £10 lower than it was at the start of the year. It's shown enough at air, I think it was 3 runs back, to indicate that the fire still burns bright. I think there's probably going to be more pace on here than there has been in his last 3 races.
Yeah.
Which will help the ridiculous exaggerated waiting tactics that Mulrennan adopts on this horse. Jim Goldie's horses remain in good form. They've been in really good form for about a month now. Well, this horse just has plenty going for him at 25-1. I think it's ridiculous.
Yeah, generally, yeah. You've got to back it each way, though, surely.
I'm afraid so.
You've got to do, because he's just... I always think sometimes he's after the Lord Mayor's show. Sometimes they get it right, but sometimes it's like finishing powerful. And So 1 each way for John at 25s. That's with 365 Betfair. He gets 4 pegs. That's for John tomorrow in the 225 race. Cheers, John. Andy Richmond.
Right, we are going to the Stewards Cup. The Charlie Mountains horse, but not the obvious one. The other one, Tanmawi. Backed it in the Wokingham when it legged it off down the track without a jockey on. Then it went to Windsor, won a 0-105 off a mark of 97 with Mr. Buick on board. Ran a very, very good race there. Picked up a little bit of a penalty for the Stewards, but has got a very upwardly mobile profile. I don't understand the price in relation to the favourite. It's nicely drawn in the traps where it is nice and low, isn't it? And
8.
I think, trap 8, that bit of fresh ground over that side. I don't think it's been raced on too much over there. I think this horse is still on the up. I don't think he's ever been given credit for some of his very, very good runs. Doesn't matter if it does piss down overnight because it handles any sort of ground. And I just think it's overplayed or underplayed against his stablemate. Everyone's looking at that, which does fit the trends very well. But Tanmawi, a point each way at somewhere north of 16-1 with about 6 pegs will do fine.
You've got that 16 to 1 6 pegs that's available with Coral and Bet365. There is money for Tam Maui floating about. So, but you get that, Andy, as it's with two firms. Good. Oh, right. 16s with Betfred and Boyle as well. So you're well in qualifying with that.
It didn't get on with any of those.
Well, yeah. But 16s.
Good luck with that project. Yeah.
One each way, Andy. There, 6 pegs Tam Maui. Before we come on to Jack to finish the round, this is where I go blogger. We go to Goodwood in the 3 o'clock race, and it's free wind. 2 points win on the nose. Well, I'm not going each way. I used to know somebody that used to go each way on 5 to 4 shots. I didn't get it. I don't get it. But anyway, so 6 to 5 generally available. 5 to 4 wheels, but 6 to 5 for me. I think this filly is actually better with cut, and the forecast rain tomorrow, they're due to get 6 or 7 mils before racing, which will sort of cement the soft ground, I think, for tomorrow. Even if they don't get that and they only get 3, it'll still make it like what it is today, good to soft, that kind of thing, soft in places. So you look at this filly's form, like she does win on fast ground, but I don't think she enjoys it. Her best performances, she routed them at Deauville, where the Racing Post gave it as good. It was 9 seconds slower than standard. And the other soft ground win was, do you remember when she got put through the rail in the Lancashire Oaks by something else? I can't remember. But she got put through the rail and still won.
Jim, wasn't it?
Yeah, and she still won, and she still went sluicing past it. I think this filly is just different class on this ground, and it's just the fact that the targets they've had for her, it's always been quick, like York, like where she just. But then you slag York off. Look at the second. The third's won the Lancashire Oaks, and the second won the Group 2 at Ascot. So, and look at these fillies that are against her. Absolutely nowhere near in her league. Just not in. It's a bit. It reminds me of a bit like Jumper Up, I Feel Princess, and it reminds me of that kind of setup where you've got a genuine multiple Group 1 winner against shit, and yet you jumper it up at 10 to 11. It's got a 4 to 9. I'm not saying this will go off at 4 to 9. I'm just saying, tell me a filly that's going to beat this. I can't see it. I think it's an amazing price. I'd be 8 to 13, 4 to 7. I can't have that. Can't have that odds against. It's unbelievable. What value? 2 points win. Jack.
My 2-pointer league goes in the 240 at Newmarket, the Fillies listed race. Quick shout out before I move on to my selections in this race, who I'm not choosing. Perfect Profit. Horse is owned by a chap who I enjoyed a couple of beers with post King George at Hookham victory last week. A chap called Simon. I think Simon Benson is his Twitter, but he's a loyal.
Are you sure it was just beers?
Well, bit of bubbly might have come out, but I hope his filly runs well, but not as good as the ones I'm putting up. Anyway, put it that way. So, taking 2 stabs at this. First one is the shirt-trained Market Value. I know we were all quite big on this one at Chester. I didn't think the race really was run to suit. Had to go forward, and you can forgive a horse for putting up a bit of a stinker at Chester. Third's come out and won since. The winner is not a bad horse at all. Sparks Fly. I know, disappointed last time out, but I think you've got to take note when the shirt chucks one in a listed race off a mark of 83. He's a shrewd operator. You saw the other week on Eclipse Day, can't remember the name of the horse, but he chucked in a filly on a listed race, mark of 79 or something, and that one. So I think this is a filly that's held in high regard, and I was quite happy to go in with. And my other selection is the John and Slim trained Sweet Memories. I was quite big on the Oaks 4th Mammon June, if we remember, last time out, and she put that away duly and put the rest of the field away at the same time. I thought she won very impressively, and for me the angle here is I think the Fav amusement is, I think she is what she is. She's a mark of 103. She's pretty exposed at this point, has solid form, but I was quite keen to take her on with a couple of upwardly mobile and unexposed types, and these were my 2. So point each please on Sweet Memories and Market Value.
Lovely stuff. That's 11 to 2. I was impressed with the Sweet Memories at Newbury as well. It's 11 to 2 generally available. Market Value is 11 to 1 generally available for Jack. Point on each there in a dual prong attack on the Fillies. Right, Max Bets round. This is up where everyone gets the lucky 15s ready for this one. I know they do. They all like our Maxes. Andy, kick us off.
I got an old blogger.
Yeah, I like. Well, this is what we like. Yeah, we don't mind
blogger.
that.
I got an old blogger. Horse you put up the other week, who I was really impressed with, Sweet William, in the 225 at Goodwood. Might be a slight doubt about the ground, but he won so easily last week. Beat a couple of weeks ago, beat a really good field, one off 88 there. I thought they only stuck him up, £7? I thought that was fairly generous to 95. He needs a penalty to get into the Ebor. So the bottom weight in the Ebor in the last 3 years have been 100, 101 and 97. So he might just about scrape in. He's back to 1.6 miles here. He's yet to run on ground like this, but to be honest with you, looked at this field, and as much as I respect John's keeping on with Uke and Glenn, there doesn't look to be an awful lot that's ahead of the handicapper here, and this horse just still looks like a group horse and a handicap to me. So if John and Slim can get this one into the Ebor, I think he'll go off a pretty short price on the day, but they've got to win this first. But I wouldn't mind 3 points on Sweet William at around 9-4. He was actually, when the market first opened, I saw some 7-2. 7-2, 3-1, and I actually took some 11-4 last night, or as much as I could get on with the said firm.
It's at 5-2 with Paddy's Betfair Unibet.
Yeah.
So that's your price. 3 points win Sweet William. I may as well come on to it then straight away for a klaxon for an asthmatic horse show. Sweet William 5-2 with Paddy Power Betfair Unibet. Very predictable from me. But my assessment of this horse was, well, I genuinely think it's about 110. So 95 tomorrow for the mad woman that owns it.
I want to see another interview with the mad woman.
Yeah, she's mad.
She's good value, isn't she?
She is. To be fair, I don't mind her. She's just. You can tell that she's crackers. I mean, I don't know if anyone's watched Succession, but she's like the mother in Succession of the kids.
I think she'd get on a bit better with Mansouri, wouldn't you? And
yeah,
spare a thought for Lionel.
I know, poor Lionel.
Moral ledger winner last year. Moral ledger winner.
Yeah, Sergeant Wilson fucked it up again.
I think Lionel's in our kitchen now, isn't he?
Lionel Richie.
Yeah, this woman is just like you say. I can't help when she's on in the interview. I can't help but just carry on watching because.
But isn't it good to have someone who just gives her horses ordinary? She ought to have one called Bert.
That'll probably come actually, but it's a bit too northern, isn't it? Really, that.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Quinton.
Quinton might get one named after
Quentin. Yeah, because Quentin. Yeah. So anyway, back to Sweet William. Yeah, so it is literally group class. It's literally a steering job for me. Rab can mess it up, but this horse really is just different here, and I'll be shocked if this gets beat, to be honest. But it is Rab, and there we go. But 5-2's value. I'd price this up about 13-8. I won't lay anything above 2-1. This it's just pointless because it's going to come there travelling and swinging. So it's just, it looks different class. She's got a shed full of them this season, actually, Gregory, and it's just a good thing. Anyway, right, Jack, your 3-pointer.
320 Doncaster Lee, continuing the blogger theme, Jeff Coons. I was mightily impressed by this one last time out at HQ. I've seen worse listed races than the maiden that he won. The Haggis horse in second, who I'd backed that day for my sins, was extremely unlucky. The fourth, King Lear of George Bowie's, is bound to be. That's a moral next time out. And the turn of foot that he displayed in the final furlong, if you go back and watch the race, I think it was 21st of July. He looked dead and buried, but he somehow found a turn of foot towards the end of the race. I think I clocked 34.68 final 3 furlongs. The race wasn't run to suit. It was a bit of a crawl. I think the step up to 10 furlongs will certainly suit. The softening ground doesn't worry me. I've checked into the pedigree. The dam's won on soft. He's up against a nice-looking Godolphin horse in measured time. That's been off the track since February. The form has worked out of that race in all fairness, but I can't see that being, it wouldn't have been off the track since February if it's not had a setback of some sorts. And I can't imagine that's in the best condition for this race. And I think this is pattern class, and I think he'll take this one quite handily. It's a bit of a filthy selection. I mean, I'm looking at odds checker now. You've got 1-2 Denise, but he is available at 13-8 with the Flutter boys.
No, that's because they've took out measured time.
Oh, Was that?
Yes.
Oh, that.
So it's 4 to 7 Hills.
Oh, fuck.
1 to 2 bet 3. No, you're fine. We don't mind odds-on shots.
Look. Continuing the theme of John this week and Highfield Princess worked out well. Look, this just wins. If that's not in there, this wins half the track. So I can't put lengths bets up, but I can't see this getting beat. So
I'll give you 4 to 7 or bet fair SP. What do you want?
We'll go bet. Oh, there's just nothing in this race whatsoever.
I'd take the price, to be honest.
Look.
Iron Lion's second favourite. This is what 1 to 6.
This is filthy stuff, guys. Apologies, but I didn't envisage that one getting pulled out. But look, if you want a banker, if this one gets beat, send me your receipt and I'll pretend I don't have any money and I'll pay anything up to €240. But there you go.
They'll all be putting their lucky 15s on the 1-pointers this week.
Yeah, I get some. Yeah. Jeff Coons for Jacker, 4 to 7.
That's filthy. Apologies, all. I didn't know that.
No.
I didn't know that Godolphin horse had been pulled out. So yeah. Well, there we go.
It is what it is. Jonas finishes off.
Well, on the plus side, this won't be 4 to 7. Stewards Cup. Yeah, yes. Now, I've been waiting all summer to back this, and I'm a bit pissed off with the draw, but I'm sticking with the script, and I'm backing Tactical of Sue Camacho's, the Sprint Queen.
Yes.
This horse was excellent for Andrew Baldwin on occasion, and one such occasion when he was only beaten 5 lengths by Creative Force on soft ground over 7 at Ascot in 2021, where he ran to a figure considerably higher than what he runs off here. He then looked very unlucky at Ascot last year when Ryan rode him, got into quite a bit of bother in the 7 furlong handicap and still managed to finish 6th, and that was off a rating of 105. He's gone to the Camachos. He's had 2 float-ups under Graham Lee, and they've done his wind. He's been gelded, and as I say, the missed Ascot this year. I was all set to back him in the 7 furlong handicap. I'm quite happy to go all in here. 3 points win.
Woo, 33s. We bet 365, Coral, Oil.
If I'm on the wrong side, I won't place anywhere. If I'm on the right side, elite these.
Wow, look at that. That's not going to be 33s tomorrow with comments like that, John. That's going. That's going now. That's going. Andy's clicking as we speak.
4 to 7, that, John.
Bit of 33s. That's a cracking nap.
You could have a tri-cast, couldn't you, in the Stewards?
Yeah, you could go out.
Yeah.
Ali's Dan Satan Maui and John's Tactical. Interesting stuff there in the Stewards from the Bar Stewards. Right, on to television tomorrow, and it looks like ITV have decided we can't be arsed, just like all of us this week. With a 5th day at Goodwood, we're all bollocks and can't be arsed with any of it.
Could be worse. It's the 6th day at Galway tomorrow.
Yeah, don't they have 7 as well?
Yeah, Sunday's on as well. Yeah, do the full week.
Who on earth is man? I've been to Galway, right? I used to live over the island over the sea. Who is managing to do 6 days at Galway? I mean, that's some effort.
It is like. Then again, I mean, if you've been to an Irish wedding, you'll also know that is just mental. Like it's a 3-day booze session.
It's 3.
Yeah, it just go on and on and on. No one goes to bed till 4 o'clock in the morning, and it goes on for for 3 days. It's just like it's bizarre. So yeah, no wonder they need 7 over there. But anyway,
we can't do 4 at York, can we?
No, I mean this year, for example, like Friday's the rest day.
You'll need it after I've been there on a Thursday.
Yeah. Friday's the rest day. So like we literally Wednesday at middle and Thursday champagne lawn, Friday
with the freighting buckets of ice.
Yeah, literally. And then Saturday it's Ebor and box time with a friend of mine.
And the Melrose.
The Bar Steward sponsored Melrose.
Yeah.
Don't forget the Melrose.
So that's it. We love the Melrose. Right, anyway. Back to this slop rubbish. 150 Goodwood tomorrow is the first there. It's the Stewards Consolation. Zaman Jamil is a very short price at 100 to 30, considering it had the favoured Stands Rail last time. Anyone want to start me off in this?
We'll take
I
it.
will, because I've got one from my column running, which I'll give a bit of a plug to this week because they've all been running well out there, despite someone having a pop at me last week for telling me to cut out the quips. Which, what a load of bollocks that was.
That was actually Timeform's Graham North.
North, yeah.
What a load of shit that was. Well, if they cared about as much about watering as we do, and then told me to write too much, and that's a fella who's written a 2,000-word column. Anyhow, I thought I'd just ignore it, to be quite honest with you, because I do think it's actually not a bad column, and there's quite a bit of detail in there, which I think people could do with rather than being glossed over by the crap that we get fed on ITV all the time. But anyhow, the fellow's entitled to his opinion, and I'm entitled to mine. And
what was your quip?
Because I had about a line's worth of pop at the Newmarket watering again, and he said it was getting boring.
I think Newmarket's getting boring.
Well, exactly.
It's never good betting there, is it?
Anyhow,
at least we're running 5 more weeks, so that's shade.
Anyhow, I think my columns produce a few more good, decent price winners than his has. But hey, let's not get personal.
You end up in a Twitter debate.
230 more winners.
Yeah. Anyhow,
I can see another Twitter spat.
I don't bother going on there anymore, to be honest with you. I need to check our stuff. Right, Cooperation, I thought. I mean, he got a terrible break last time out. He was really weak in the betting at York. Just fell out the stalls. And if you look at his run before, when he was 4th of 12 at Haydock, again, I think Kirkland had a bit of a muck around with the watering process there. I'm not sure what he'd done. One minute it was one side, next minute it was the other. And I thought he was probably worth a pop. I'm not going to let him go unbacked at 20 here on the machine in a race where there's not an awful lot in this, is it? Apart from the 3-year-old at the head of the market, as you said, Lee, was he a little bit advantage last time out?
Obviously, Stands Rail at Thirsk has been mustered all summer, so it really is. It's just because Ryan Moore's on it, and it's poor value. I'm not saying it can't win. It's just a case of why there's no angle to take the 100 to 30. Jack, have you any thoughts on this?
Yeah, I mean, I like to get a sub for my sins. It's becoming a bit of a perennial cliff horse, this one. I think the pieces back on versus the blinkers is a positive. But, as you said at the top, Lee, with the ground, 6 to 8 mil, that's probably going to go against it, in all honesty. But if in the rare occasion we don't get a ton for the rain, I could see that one outrunning its odds from a favourable draw.
Yeah, like you say, just a rain thing. Just one thing I wanted to point out was Many a Star. It's looked absolutely dead this season, but when you consider that it's ran only 3 times at Goodwood, for some reason it just, you get horses that just like this shit pit. 3rd to Sherby's, won a Class 2 from the Lamplighter, who's a course specialist of 85 at this meeting last year. Now we're rated 83. And the other run at Goodwood was second to a rousing. Wrong one. It was second to 5,000 to 1, decent Balding horse. And I just think that might be, you're taking a chance because it has looked dead. But if you've sorted it out and the tongue tie first time, who knows? That might spring a surprise from a decent draw. Anyway, that's his thoughts on that one. 225, the Coral Summer Handicap. Me, Andy, John are very well versed in this, so we're going to come. I can just pass on one thing, that the Gary Moore team really fancy theirs. He's a La Chica flying at home, and expect a big run is expected. Jack, coming to you for the only other opinion.
Yeah, I was massively with Sweet William. Backed it earlier in the week, anti-post for a bit of trumpeteering there. But I just think anything bigger than 2 to 1 for this is a price. Haviland rode him like a bit of an idiot last time out, so that's probably why he's bigger than he is. one point that you made around the Ebor, Andy, I don't know if you caught the mad woman last time out, but I'm pretty sure she said something along the lines of, I don't like big field handicaps. So so I don't know if that will be Ebor bound, but regardless of the point, marker 95, he's 100 plus, he should make ends meet.
The thinking was, Jack, that they just need to win this to get in, basically.
Yeah, no, well, look,
where the bottom is, but
yeah,
that's the same woman who said she doesn't tell trainers where to run the horses.
yeah.
Of course, Sergeant Wilson got the marching orders after that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like John says, you were a fucking idiot running that Irish Derby. Anyway.
But yeah, very much sweet on William, as they would say.
Good stuff. Right. So we're pretty unanimous on the William in the Summer Cup, with John chiming with the each way selection on the notorious Yukon Glen, fast and late, that one. Yeah. 3 o'clock, Lillie Langtry, John.
She was a good one, was Lillie.
Went like the clappers. Went like a catamaran round cows.
She was what they used to call around these parts, a mucky little bitch.
I obviously missed the conversation about Thailand and ping pong balls the other night as well.
Oh, Jesus Christ, yeah.
That was obviously...
the balls? We also mentioned the bats.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was obviously Mr. Nick on that.
Yeah. The bats were
horrendous stuff.
Yeah, it was horrendous stuff. Mental images that John gives me all the time.
I still haven't lost the one of the that Middlesbrough steamer thing.
Oh no, Cleveland steamer.
Cleveland steamer. That's
yeah. Do that on what do you call it? Urban Dictionary. Yeah.
Quick quip. I know we're tight for time, but a mate of mine's just turned 50, and he got delivered a Cleveland whatever basketball team they are. I don't know the fucking. You'll know, Andy. You like all the Yank sport, but he had
NFL only. Me, I'm afraid.
LeBron James team, what Cavaliers? That's it. And
Cavaliers.
he got delivered a
Cleveland. If it was NFL, it's Cleveland Browns.
Yeah, it was Cleveland with steamer on the back. So I thought.
What a revolting. Anyway, back to the Lou Langtry. Yeah. John, any thoughts on this? Is this your gin and pate race? Or?
No, I'd have to have a reasonable investment on yours, I think.
Yeah, I think ground. I just do. I think it's just how she's been campaigned. She's
always pissy, isn't she?
A very good filler. Really good. I mean that fifth in the Ardwick weren't to be sniffed at either. It was a good.
Rich, doesn't it?
Oh yeah. I mean, that form there on Good to Firm wins this. So I think she just improves massively for a bit of cut. Andy?
The only thing I was looking at, and I was actually just trying to look this up badly, was the Gosden record with first-time hooded runners since, so I'm just clicking away here, since 2013. And he is a tremendous record, 23 winners from 61 runners. So I'm always interested in when he sticks the old hood on the one. He put the hood on Gara. Now, I'm not saying it's going to beat Free Wind, but it might just be worth looking at in the place markets. That is a tremendous record. The winners above expected figure is 13. So when old Johnny G sticks the hood on, they generally improve. Now, it's got masses of improvement to find, but just thought maybe in the without favourite market, something like that, place markets might be quite interesting, but as far as I'd go with it. But it is always worth looking when Slim and John put the old hood on their horses first time.
Good stuff, Jack.
Yeah, quick note for Sumo Sam. I know that's the one our friend Quentin likes, and back on soft ground, I think, is the key to her. I think back at a mile 6 will certainly suit. I think she's just a proper boat, this one. And the soft ground, if it does become a staying test, I could see that one outrunning her odds of 25 or whatever they're offering at the minute. So might be one for each way punters.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Right, the 335 is the Stewards Cup, so obviously we've all got a lot of us got interested in this. Quentin has, John has, I have, Andy has. What does Jack think?
Jack thinks that John is spot on. I mean, I should probably have put Tactical up as a bet rather than my 4-7 Jeff Koons, to be honest.
You'd have upset John then.
Well, I might have done. I mean, He very narrowly made the list, missed the list for me, and I completely agree with John. I mean, you've got the sprint king and queen combo of Julie and Steve here, and I think this one has, it's been given time off, a wind surgery, and I think could go very well here. It all depends on the draw, doesn't it? I mean, he's been drawn high. I think the pace to me looked more kind of middle, and based on how they've run today, middle probably is where they're all going to be. But I could see that one running a nice race.
It's traditionally where you've not wanted to be down the middle.
Yeah.
Usually either side, but again, who knows? With at the risk of upsetting everyone again, mentioning watering, but who knows what years of watering has done to these courses?
Exactly.
You've got no idea, but not.
Not
that that's an important point anymore.
You can take up the mantle tonight for me, Andy. I can't be arsed with that anymore. I'm having a curry and turning it off.
I'm putting my feet up. I'm watching the.
If you want to Twitter spat,
Richmond versus North.
Likes, we'll have a spat with you.
I just thought it was I don't know, it's a bit of a nothing comment really, wasn't it? I don't know.
We love Richmond versus North.
It didn't really need saying, and I just don't know why the good fella said it, but hey, whatever. He's entitled to his opinion.
I love it when he's great at it. The online world where people can just say what they want and it like upsets everyone.
Cancel culture.
Yeah. It's just quite remarkable. 205 race, Newmarket. There's only two there. That's when ITV cannot be asked. They just can't. They've had enough. They're all, yeah.
It's July, Carsley. Could you be asked?
No, it's shit, isn't it? A valuable 40 grand nursery here, the Fillies nursery. Say Hello is favourite, I think rightfully so. Even despite up £13, it looked to have more in on than that. And Rafe Ralph is very good at training these types. He's obviously he was a twat when he stopped it at Pontefract. I mean, that was a complete stopping job. And then obviously
twat, Ralph.
Yeah. He needs a slap. Right. Right, so Say Hello is the right favourite. I thought there was two in here, though, that could give this a little bit of a worry. Defying Orders, I think, is underrated. The Lingfield win, I think, was impressive. Archie Watson's very good at getting them to go forwards after handicaps. This is one that has definitely been handicapped, and it did win well at Lingfield, had a lot in hand, and also Lady Wolfram of Andrew Balding's, the King horse. This basically has been lined up for a mark, and I am told this is strongly fancied by the Balding Yard. So 11-1, that might be reward each way punters. Any thoughts on this?
Lady Wolfram has had two absolute stinkers the last twice.
Yeah, 71 looks very light, and I think 11-1, I think that can reward each way support.
Yeah, I think the King's been at it here. Teeing one up for a punt.
Big Camilla wants
the dirty jugger you get.
Good old Republican John with his stuff there, yeah. So
I wonder if he's going to call it when he's going to name a horse Sausage Fingers.
Yeah, I mean, it's incredible that. I can't believe how purple they are. It's just ridiculous. What, John? What causes that? What causes big fat purple fingers?
Drink.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
So he's supping plenty then.
Oh, get it down there, Kel. Ready for this tomorrow.
Andy, Jack, anything to add to this?
I quite like. I did like Ralph's filly, the showcasing filly. Say Hello. A bit worried drawing one. You can never really work the draw out here though, because it's a movable feast, isn't it? The cheek pieces going on Defying Orders. I thought that win at Lingfield was quite impressive. She came down the middle that day, didn't she? And it's usually a bit of a rail buyer, so they didn't seem as bad at Lingfield this year. So I'd give that a chance. It wouldn't be a race. I'd be.
Win it if it's run on the fucking rolling mail, can't
Well, can't wait to get back on there, John. I think that's the answer to that one.
Yeah, Jack.
Yeah, just a general pointer for tomorrow. I'm looking at my Norwegian weather sites just now, and it's proper.
I thought you were going to say something else then.
Oh,
you're looking at your Norwegian.
No, you're not that boring. You're not that. I'll save that for after.
Norwegian wood.
Norwegian chambermaid.
We had a couple of Norwegian runners today at Goodwood, actually.
Yeah.
But it's going to be proper slop form. I've got 10 mil during racing, and yeah, given not to revisit Andy's watering policy comment there, which I know bores certain sections of our listeners, not me. I completely agree. But
you
you
mentioned
want
that 230 times right now.
yeah, it'll be switched off by this point. But yeah, I think this is going to be proper slop. So you want something that goes on this stuff. But I quite like it. Oh, there we go. Is that the king?
Charlie's Angels. Hello, Charlie.
Is that King? That's sausage fingers himself saying, "Don't you wank."
It's a bit, yeah.
It's John's knighthood coming.
MI5 tapping into John's line. Jack, go on, carry on.
Yeah, no, that was it really. But I quite liked your Lady Wolfram, a couple of float ups, marker 71. I think you're spot on with that.
Yeah, definitely. I'll
Should have got the automatic arse out for that.
Yeah, there's some shekels on that tomorrow. 240 Newmarket. Jack's obviously put up a nice Dutch in this, and to be honest, I do like the Gosden filly that Doyle rides, Sweet Memories. I thought that it was very strong in the market at Newbury, and I like that because that means they know that this is, that this was some tackle. And bearing in mind, Jack, when they backed it into 5-2, knowing that Maman June had already finished fourth in an Oaks, but yet they were all over this and backing this, and as if to say this wins. So yeah, that's where I'm at on the race. Sweet Memories, I thought would be the one to beat. John, is this the Gin and Pate race?
I think it probably will be.
Yeah, if you got Davis on, you'd have a full house here because Davis would just say, "No, Fillies, nah."
Yeah, it's
not his type of filly, is it?
Unless they're from Thailand.
Yeah. The Pattaya ping pong balls, they're the best ones.
It's the sort of race you can easily do 230 quid in, isn't it?
Loving this tonight. Andy, any view here?
I sort of appreciate Jack's case for sort of trying to take on the favourite, and I was sort of in the same camp myself. Whether I'd actually want to lay Amusement or not is another matter. I thought Sunset Point was quite interesting. Got a little bit to do here, but that form of that Ascot win's been franked this week by a decent win at Goodwood. It's taken a little bit of a step up in grade, but I wouldn't think she's that far off this sort of grade. Sort of race that, rather than laying the favourite, I'd probably try and back 2 or 3 against Jack's 2 and probably sling in Sunset Point as well. That's that sort of race. I haven't got any pate, so I can't have any. But no gin either.
Just let the dog in and hope for the best, Andy.
Yeah, I will have a dog to let out tomorrow because we're dog sitting tomorrow, so I could let the dog out.
Well, Andy, you need to sing St. Clair out and get some nice pate or terrine in the house for tomorrow afternoon. Yeah. During racing.
Yeah. It is that.
Just apply liberally and then let Fry doing.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Yeah. Right, yeah, that covers the Fillies race off. I mean, just about. But yeah, it's pretty poor fare from ITV tomorrow. There are some stakes races at Saratoga for those of you that like it tomorrow night. Really my barrow, but some British runners, I think, tomorrow, I believe.
We need Quentin for that.
Yeah, Quentin's the US
That was
man.
a good one last week he came up with. God.
I know, it was unlucky, wasn't it?
It was unlucky, yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Quentin, the USA man.
Right. Some daft early prices as well. Jesus.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Right, that's about it. We've covered it off really well. The final day of the glorious meeting. We're back on Sunday. Some more rubbish, and then we can take it a little bit easier next week before the build up to the big York Ebo Festival. This is where the bar stewards are at home, and we shine at that meeting. So have a great weekend. Bye for now.